One, two, three. Howdy everybody, welcome back to another fantastic review. Today we're going to be reviewing Karoshi's hit new album, Violet. Karoshi is a Japanese-American jazz musician, a newcomer to the genre and the music industry in general. He is 20 years old and recently has been gaining a lot of notoriety, mostly through 2017 through live shows and touring that he's been doing. He just decided to put out this project. He's been posting on Twitter saying that he's been working on it a lot, and finally, just this past weekend, we were able to at last get it. It's an exciting time, and fortunately, he does not disappoint. Where most modern jazz albums tend towards some singular sound, Karoshi casts a wide musical net, allowing him to kind of flex his creativity and really show how different he can be while still mastering a singular genre. For example, Desert Lake is a very classical jazz piece, and the piano is very reminiscent of Ryo Fukui, or someone of the 1960s or 70s Japanese jazz. But he doesn't only stick to this kind of conventional classical jazz. He also moves out into new territory with this lo-fi funky sound that can be felt through a lot of the tracks. It's much more soft and pensive than classical jazz is, which tends to be a little more energetic, a little more upbeat. He's most notable on Fallible and Adamant Legend. And Adamant Legend, the synths on this thing are just
insane.
His ability to play jazz piano with stuff that sounds like it belongs on 90s synth tracks is just ridiculous, and the guy really knows how to stitch every kind of instrument into any other kind. It's an impressive feat, and he pulls it off a lot through this album, as you'll see when you listen to it. He contrasts, though, this lo-fi funk sound with a lot of sharper pieces as well. Like on Candace, there are moments when the music just completely cuts out, and you're left just with this half second where your heart kind of doesn't know how to react to the music. And it also reflects the cutting heartbreak that he talked about in that song. The violins on Negatively Charged Atom also kind of bring this sharpness to the whole project. They're striking, they feel nearly evil, which is a good contrast to the lyrical content of this project. I also just want to take a moment talk about the bass on Old Boy, because the bass line that Karoshi himself plays, by the way, is just incredible, and it's another testament to his ability to not only play piano and guitar and sing, but also basically pick up any instrument that he wants and go to town on it. His vocals here are consistently round and soulful, and they're a perfect vehicle for the fantastic lyrics that he delivers. And there are plenty on this album. Lines ranging from discussions of his mother and depression to past relationships to simpler, happier things, like the joy he might get from looking out his window for hours at a time. It's some pretentious, artsy stuff, sure, but it doesn't take away from the genuine feel that you do get from the whole thing. And it's truly impressive that despite this wide range of sound, Karoshi is still capable of creating a consistent melancholy, a sonic mood throughout the album. That said, it was raining this weekend. That may have changed the way I listen to this album, but I'll listen to it regardless of weather, and maybe that'll affect the mood, I don't know. The lyrics, especially on something like How We Laughed, just really drive home this sadness. And also this feeling of hope that still, despite all the depression, permeates through the album. Lyrically, it might not be complex, but it's strong, it's emotional, it's very beautifully done, and the music absolutely reflects that. Given the first weekend record sales of this album, which are, I think it might have already gone platinum in a week alone. Given these record sales, both in the US and internationally, I think that Violet is a strong Grammy contender. If not for Record of the Year, then at least Karoshi will go up for Best New Artist, and at the very least, Best Jazz Album of 2018. I hope to see more jazz in the coming year, but I don't really see how someone can beat this out. I think that if I were a jazz musician, I might play it cool for a year, wait until this awards season, and then release something when Karoshi's kind of sitting back and he's off his time. I'm going to give this album a 9. I think that everything done throughout is excellently executed, though musical themes might not be complex lyrically. I think he more than makes up for anything like that with the creation of an overall mood and his ability to just excel at anything he tries to do. So what do you guys think? Is this jazz album another example of the rising of the jazz renaissance in 2018? Or are we just facing a unique moment for a fresh new artist with a lot of promise? Let me know in the comments below.